I think these first couple of rounds will tell the tale. The aggressiveness of Dawson, how well does Tarver counterpunch? I think it's going to be all important.
The champion Antonio Tarver in the silver with the black trim. Chad Dawson, the favored challenger in the blue, black, and silver trunks. Dawson comes in with a very definite plan. Tarver, as Al pointed out, basically reacts. He and his team do not watch tapes. They feel that Tarver's skill, will, strength, and experience have gotten him this far. Why change now? Smacking right hooks by Dawson to get things going.
You know, Tarver came out advancing and continues to advance. Chad Dawson doing something a little different, moving around and backwards a little bit.
Yeah, look for Dawson to do a lot of moving, try to keep a fast pace, try to wear the older Tarver out. Dawson has to watch for Tarver's strong left hand and uppercut. And you pointed out, particularly after throwing the hook.
You can see in round one, Chad Dawson committed to go to the body. They believe that's the ticket to get to Tarver.
Straight left, just missed by Dawson. Both tactical fighters, but Tarver more defensive-minded. Fights in spurts, does what he has to do to win. Dawson more aggressive. But Dawson doesn't look for the knockout. He just tries to win each round.
We see early in this match more combination punching from Chad Dawson. We expect that.
Tarver's never been stopped. Minute to go in the opening round.
If there's a surprise here in this first round, it is that Tarver's moving forward more than I would have thought he might.
Yeah, he usually lays back. There's a combination, but it was blocked by the gloves of Tarver.
See early the hand speed of Chad Dawson. If there's a big edge in this fight for him, it's that.
And you're right, Tarver coming forward early. You know, usually he's a very deliberate starter. We usually don't see this from him.
And it's not to say he's definitely winning this first round, but he is attacking. And there's that uppercut that we talked about.
A good body shot with the uppercut. Missing wildly with the straight left. That's his signature punch, Tarver. And Dawson making Tarver miss there. Very elusive and fast. Chad Dawson. More than a feeling out process in the opening round.
Okay, relax, team. Here we go, everyone. Take your time. Move your jab. Cut the man off the move. Understand? Frame a lot. Understand? Jerk him a lot. We got to go to his body. I know you got to get in your rhythm. So let me give you some water. What's the buckets?
That's all. That's all. Same thing. Speed kills, baby. Give him some water. Water. Looking good, baby. Looking good. Take a drink, man. Straight. Okay. Move that head side to side. Slip and slide. That's what you got to do. Perfect. Perfect.
Eddie Mustafa Muhammad, like the venerable Jimmy Williams, but Tarver is probably the perfect trainer right now for Chad Dawson.
Yeah, former light heavyweight champ, as you pointed out. He's been through all this. He's able to counsel him not only on the X's and O's, but going through this process.
And the latest stuff he's been working on with Dawson, improving his focus and defense. Round two. Let's get it over to Jim Gray. Jim.
All right, Steve, it was interesting. With all the talking that Antonio Tarver did, it was Chad Dawson who had the last word. It was Dawson saying to Tarver right before the fight, no more time for talking, Antonio. It's time to go to work. Steve?
All right, Jim, and that is exactly what Chad Dawson is doing, and really out of character for Dawson.
And Antonio Tarver, famous for his final line to Roy Jones, which we chronicled earlier. They were excuses, Roy. You know, the right hook of Chad Dawson is more readily available to him as a good punch than some might have thought it would be in this fight. He's landed several to the head of Antonio Tarver.
These guys shared the same fight card in April. Dawson said he's more emboldened by his fight. There's a beautiful right uppercut. Right on the, I believe it hit the chin of Chad Dawson. And now here's a flurry by Dawson. Oh, excellent uppercut by Chad Dawson. That is finding a home, and then he followed up with a left.
This fight hinges on the hand speed and combination punching of Dawson, as opposed to the one punch that could turn this around a little bit for Antonio Tarver.
Tarver having to...
One of the things, and you've been around, oh, there's that hook again. It's so impressive for Dawson. You've been around so many sports. One thing you can't tell when you watch video is how fast somebody is. Whether it's a football player, basketball, or boxing, speed, you can't tell when you watch video. Antonio Tarver couldn't really gauge the speed of Dawson.
And he doesn't watch tapes anyway.
Yeah, exactly, but he's seen him fight live.
Eddie Mustafa said speed kills, and Chad Dawson following through.
Right now, the combination punching and speed of Dawson is winning the day. We're very early in this fight, of course.
And you got to remember, Dawson comes off a grueling fight with Glenn Johnson. But he came away feeling mentally stronger and physically stronger from that fight. And he's showing it here.
The other thing that's different here is Antonio Tarver is the aggressor. That's different for him.
He may rethink that. And Dawson continues to connect.
It's going to get easier, but keep your focus. Don't lose your focus. Double and triple them jabs up, move that head side to side, and step around like you do it. That's all. You're too old, Judge. The game is over, but I need them hands up.
The combination punching, we've talked about it. He doesn't throw just one punch at a time. That was a 5-punch combination. Everything did not land, but at the tail end is when you get those punches in. And here, again, a creative combination, a right uppercut and a straight left, and nothing coming back from Tarver there, who normally would counter that.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. Come on, get the.
Tarver most vulnerable to overhand rights. And remember, Dawson, a natural right-hander with good power in the right. He became a lefty to emulate his dad, a former fighter who's in his corner, Rick.
Jimmy Williams pointed out that Antonio Tarver they want Dawson to throw all his punches so they can counter off of them. So far in this fight, Antonio's not been able to do that as well as he would like.
Right now, Chad Dawson just brimming with confidence, looking very sharp over the first 2+ rounds. There's another right hand. There's that right we talked about by Dawson. Oh, another great right hand right on the jaw. And then flicking that jab right through the defense of Tarver.
And here's the irony of this fight. It's Dawson who's counterpunching better than Tarver right now. Tarver's coming to him, and Dawson is counterpunching.
Giving Tarver a little taste of his own medicine.
Yep. Total reversal in normal form.
Tarver's punches just pity-pat, but Dawson's punches have a lot of power behind them. Now it's Tarver coming forward. Tarver usually likes to lure you to the ropes, and it's, and then lure you into his power. Good uppercut, left hand there by Tarver.
That's the punch, and it got Dawson's attention. Let's see how much impact that had against Dawson. That was a good uppercut by Tarver. Chad Dawson coming back from it.
This is the most, at least lately, we have seen of Tarver coming forward.
Great straight left. Now Tarver turning on the power.
Now we've got a fight.
Oh, yeah.
with a minute to go in round 3. Things heating up. It's not as one-sided anymore.
Tarver's landing the uppercut and the straight left hand in this round, and that's changing things.
Suddenly becoming more competitive, more interesting.
Fun round. Very skillfully fought fight, too, I might add. This comes under the who'da thunk it category of Dawson luring Tarver in and trying to counterpunch, but Dawson's finding a home now for that straight left. Or Tarver, excuse me. Less punches coming from Dawson.
And Dawson missing with the right. Final seconds of the 3rd round. A turnaround here for Antonio Tarver in round 3.
Take a deep breath, baby. Relax. Now you're coming on. That's what we got to put the pressure on. Go behind the jab. If not jab, I want you to be slipping and move. Go to the body.
Chad Dawson started out this round as he did the first 2 rounds. Counterpunching very effectively. That's the right hook, and there's the combination punching that we saw, and the right hook's been a very effective weapon for him. However, this is the punch that ultimately could be a game changer if he lands it right. That was a pretty good uppercut by Tarver. It didn't land, and then later on in the round, as you see him still trying to get that uppercut in, the straight left hand for Tarver. There was a beauty by Antonio Tarver. He's getting that punch in as well. A bit of a turnaround in round 3.
Do you think we should see Dawson targeting the body more here? I mean, that's one of his good points, isn't it?
He started it, Steve, and you're absolutely right. In rounds 2 and 3, he stopped going to the body as much as he was in round 1. There it is.
Yep,
he heard you.
Yeah.
See, they listen to you, these fighters. They really do.
I didn't think we were talking that loudly. Combination upstairs.
Left.
Yeah, by Antonio Tarver, who started to come on in the 3rd round.
Stop! You don't need to push.
Named 83rd man in the ring. It tells Dawson you don't have to push. And Dawson said, well, I had a reason to push because the other guy is being rough.
You know, Dawson is starting to go back downstairs again. Trying to get the 39, soon-to-be 40-year-old Tarver in trouble later in the fight. Tarver's jab, by the way, now becoming a more important weapon in this fight, and that's helping in these rounds. These are 2 good fighters. Really, really, really good fighters.
Pumping that left straight forward is Chad Dawson, pushing Tarver back with authority. Tarver knows Dawson's good. He's got power, he's got skill. He was just trying to get inside the head of Chad Dawson. And Chad Dawson said he just wanted to shut Tarver's mouth.
Well, Antonio Tarver is a wordsmith. He's a spin doctor. Oh, nice right hand by Dawson. So clearly he can annoy you. Dawson's having a pretty good round here in round 4.
And again, it's by virtue of that exceptional speed. You just don't see the punch coming. Great body shots by Chad Dawson. Then he goes upstairs.
Now, in fairness, some of those punches being blocked by Antonio Tarver, but because he's throwing so many, Dawson is getting some in, for sure.
I think the body shots more so are getting in as opposed to the higher shot.
Absolutely.
They're being blocked. There's the Tarver who tried a body shot with the left hand, but it was blocked. Dawson missing with a straight left. Tarver able to elude that one. It's Tarver chasing Dawson around the ring, but with not very effective though. He's not getting anything through.
And let me tell you, it's not his normal style. So that's why Tarver's maybe a little bit off here in some respects.
Maybe trying to throw Dawson off because, you know, Dawson does watch tapes and he's seeing a different Antonio Tarver here, but not really having effect. That was a balance shot. Oh, again, the great lightning speed of Chad Dawson landing. Hey, let's go over to Jim Gray. Jim.
All right, Steve, thank you very much. Here with the host tonight, Gavin Maloof. He, along with his brothers, own the Sacramento Kings and the Palms Hotel here. You're very fond of Chad Dawson. Is this like watching a Kings game for you?
Well, it is. I know Chad personally. We promoted a fight in Sacramento at Arco Arena. He's a wonderful person, a great family, so I'm very nervous.
And the boxing game is something you guys really want to get involved in more, correct?
We do. We've had our kind of dipped our toe in it. We enjoy it. We've always loved boxing.
Sacramento Kings are here against the Lakers. How's your Kings club this year?
We're going to be good. We're going to be good. We got a young squad, but we got a good nucleus of veterans and young players. So we'll be hopefully make the playoffs this year.
Catch your breath, Gavin. We appreciate your time.
All right.
And we want to wish your brother Joe Maloof, who's home watching, he had double knee replacement. Best to you, Joe. Thanks for having us. All right, Steve, back to you.
Okay, Jim, thanks very much.
Talked to Joe the other day. Ironic, he was so anxious to have this fight here, couldn't attend because of the knee surgeries.
Round 5, it is scheduled for 12, the IBF Light Heavyweight Championship. Antonio Tarver in the silver with the black trim. Chad Dawson in the blue, black, and silver. Generally a good start for Chad Dawson. Straight left hand pushed Tarver back at him right in the nose.
Rocked him, Steve.
Yeah, it stunned him momentarily. And here's Dawson going to work with lefts and rights. He is dangerous with both hands.
You mentioned that Antonio Tarver has never been stopped in his long pro career.
Take a look at press row. David Avila from SweetScience.com. Jeff Haney, Las Vegas Sun. Kevin Ioli, Yahoo Sports. All Dawson.
I have it 39-37 for Dawson.
So that through 4.
You know, this fight, give Dawson, Chad Dawson credit. He has made Antonio Tarver come to him, although Tarver started it right from the beginning. And it's been a different kind of fight than we might have anticipated, with Dawson doing the chasing.
And Chad Dawson doesn't seem to mind.
No, which is interesting. He's been countering well.
Look at the hand speed. He's getting those punches through. Right now, overmatching the champion. Chad Dawson looking for his second title belt. He gave up the WBC belt to fight Tarver. Tarver missing. Dawson just too young, too fresh, too fast. Young, too fresh, too fast. And look at that. Everything landing now. He's beginning to slow Tarver down even more.
It's quite apparent that for Antonio Tarver to win this fight, he's going to have to land a game changer. Some punch that's really going to hurt Chad Dawson.
And that might have been it. A straight left hand there by Chad Dawson. You're talking about Tarver, of course, but that was quite a shot. There's another left hand right onto the head by Dawson. And it's like, you know, one at a time, one and done for Tarver as Dawson puts together nice combinations. Whoop, look out. That killed about 40 flies.
I'm really surprised Antonio Tarver doesn't try to lay back, make Dawson come to him a little bit, at least try it in one round, and see if he can counter the young fighter. Instead, he is just going after him.
I would be surprised if he doesn't turn to his usual strategy soon.
Yeah.
Tarver used to stealing rounds, but he's so far behind in the round. How do you steal it?
That's okay.
6th round coming up. 6th round.
Give me some water.
If this is the coming out party for Chad Dawson on boxing center stage, I'll tell you what, he's making the most of it. These combinations, the quick hand speed, and power to go along with it, they've been very impressive for Chad Dawson. And what's interesting about Dawson is he has the complete arsenal of punches. He is a joy to watch because he goes to both the body and the head. And this hand speed is bedeviling Antonio Tarver. Tarver's able to cover up and block some of those, but not able to go back on offense and counterpunch.
Keep them hands up. Tight defense, son. We win it easy. Don't lose focus.
Doing a good job.
Well, we talked about that earlier. Eddie Mustafa Muhammad working very hard with Dawson on the focus. You know, he's a kid. He's only 26. Your mind wanders after you get ahead. So Mustafa Muhammad has to stay on top of him for that.
And also, there's always a point in a Chad Dawson fight. It came against Tomas Adamick, it came against Harding, it came against Glenn Johnson, and Johnson really got back in the fight and started to get it very close, where something often happens, where a big punch is landed.
Exactly right. He got overconfident in that Adamick fight for the title and went down to the 10th round.
And we see with a couple other punches even after that, but of course he persevered very well and won the fight.
But you couldn't find a more different fight between this one and Dawson's last fight with Glenn Johnson. That was just a war. This is more one-sided for Dawson.
There's the straight left. Antonio Tarver, you know, for the most part, that jab and straight left hand is a great, great weapon for him. And he's landed some good straight lefts in this fight, but not quite the one he wants. Dawson now not throwing many punches, a lot of movement.
Well, I think part of his strategy is tire the guy out. He's almost 40 years old. Take him some rounds, and he'll tire out. Let's see what happens.
He may be giving Tarver a chance to win this round, though. Tarver's doing some good work.
Yeah, it looks like Dawson's taking this round off.
Yeah. Now, not everything landing there for Tarver, but he's doing all the throwing.
Oh, big left hand by Tarver, but Dawson stood up to it. His chin was questionable at some point, but he answered to some wicked shots by Glenn Johnson.
How do you figure this round, Steve? I mean, Dawson has done almost nothing offensively. Is he trying to tire Tarver out by making him throw a lot of punches? He's giving the round away for sure.
It's the only thing I can think of. Is he playing possum here? He's just covering up and playing defense, and now you know, sort of inviting Tarver in. That could be dangerous. He's motioning to Tarver. You know what? You can throw what you want, but you're not hurting me.
Interesting.
Now he's using psychology on Tarver.
And maybe he's trying to make Tarver punch himself out. May have a real active round. And now if he comes back in these later seconds, thinking maybe he'll steal the round, Dawson that is, we'll see. For the first time now, Dawson pursuing Tarver.
Boy, what an intriguing round.
Oh, it really is.
Let's see if Dawson looks to finish it strong, though. 20 seconds.
Step back, please.
He'd have to finish it real strong to win this round from
he has not won this round, but let's see if he at least lets loose a little. You know what? I think he's just trying to prove something to Tarver.
He's talking to Tarver. This is intriguing.
He's saying, you know what? You can hit me with your best shot. He is talking to him, and nothing's happening. He's trying to get inside Tarver's head, and what a switch. Well, Denise Tarver, she almost just took a left to the head. It's a bad night for the Tarvers.
Deep breath, baby. Just relax. We got a whole minute here. Come on. Okay.
Get back to yourself.
Hold your head over the bucket. Hold your head over the bucket a little bit. Let me just pull it over. I'll clean that up.
Great job. Great job, team.
Tell the girl to get the towel. Make sure we okay.
Antonio Tarver had an excellent round. Now, Dawson allowed him to have an excellent round, and it may have been gamesmanship on Dawson's part. He talked to him a lot. Did he want Tarver to do this? Punch a lot and punch himself out, but certainly he won the round. Floyd Mayweather Jr., who is, by all accounts, pretty enamored with Chad Dawson as an overall boxer. He, of course, here in the arena.
You think a guy of that stature, even though he's not fighting anymore, but you think he could get better seats?
I know. He was with Bob Uecker up there.
Man, nosebleed territory. Well, anyway, let's see where Dawson picks up here in round 7. What a twist.
Yeah.
Dawson doing the talking, not Tarver.
Well, it's an interesting pivotal round now, too, because Dawson, by all accounts, gave away the last round. I think Tarver has won 2 of the first 6 rounds. You can say 2 or 1.
Now it's welcome back Dawson as he chops away. Look at these hard body shots, and then upstairs goes Chad Dawson, flailing away, winging, and just like an octopus smothering Tarver on the ropes. There's press row, and it's still all Dawson. The biggest disparity is Jeff Haney, the Las Vegas Sun.
I have it 58-56 for Dawson, so I agree with Kevin Iole and Jeff Haney. And this round, obviously, Dawson's been much more aggressive and has controlled it. So it makes you feel like it was a deliberate ploy in round 6 to fight the way he did.
I don't think there's any question about it. Unless we completely misread that, but I doubt it. Midway through the 7th. Oh, nice right hand. It wasn't flush, but it got Tarver's attention.
Thank you. Tarver himself doing some body work in this round, but Dawson has done great body work. That's a 5-punch combination. Yep. That's as pretty as it gets.
Tarver has no answer for that hand speed of Chad Dawson.
Tarver is using his jab a lot more in the last 3 or 4 rounds, and that's helped him, especially in the last one when he did a really good job. There's the uppercut, but those punches not having a monstrous effect on Chad Dawson.
Not much steam behind him. Oh, body shots just taking it out of Tarver. Jay Nady cautioning Dawson to get the punches higher. Oh, these inside uppercuts, a little holding and hitting by Dawson. Dawson on the attack, and then he lets up. Jay Nady, not a guy who allows a lot of clinching or grabbing, though it may not factor in this fight, although it could as this fight wears on if Tarver gets tired.
Both men have been working a lot on the inside when they're there.
Well, it's always a family affair with Chad Dawson. Crystal on hand. Now, I'll give you $1. Is that Prince or Chance?
Good job, baby.
Tough to tell.
Stay focused. Okay, but hands up, baby. I need your hands up. That's all. Show me.
We will show you in graphic terms how these combinations go. The left, a couple of left hands, and the right, and you'll see these punches as they flow in combination. Double jab, then he goes to the body. And what's interesting about these combinations are he mixes them to the head and the body. Chad Dawson is so fast, he makes you get in a defensive posture. There's a triple jab that lands to the head of Antonio Tarver.
Tough night for Tarver, big night for Chad Dawson, who says, you know what, I'm not about the belts. That's why he gave up the WBC belt. He says, hey, you know, I'll be honest, I'm about the money and about getting the best fights and about going to the next level and someday being pound for pound #1. That's the philosophy of Chad Dawson.
Now, on my scorecard, and probably on two of our press row scores, I have Dawson ahead by 3 points at this juncture. Of course, the official judges can see it differently. So this is a fight that Antonio Tarver's not out of by any stretch of the imagination, but he's going to have to perform better in these middle rounds to try and win some or land something really big to turn the tide.
And the problem there is, though, Al, Dawson is repeatedly making Tarver miss. I mean, Tarver's getting some punches in there, but they don't have the kind of power that Dawson's punches have. It's got to be frustrating to Tarver.
And Dawson's defense, sometimes a little underrated, has been very good in this fight for the most part.
Between rounds last time, Tarver's corner was telling him the only way you can win this is by a knockout. Well, they may be right.
Well, that's maybe a little overstatement, but to get their man to focus and get some things done here.
Dawson's never lost. He's 26-0 with a no contest, 17 knockouts. Tarver 27 for 19 knockouts. Tarver never stopped.
This is another round, though, in which Chad Dawson runs the risk of allowing Tarver to steal. And there's a great combination by Dawson.
A little bit of swelling along the right eye of Dawson. Dawson went into this fight not looking for the knockout. I asked him about that. I said, you want to be the first guy to stop Tarver? He said, no, it's not my mindset, but he sure is doing a number on him.
Those are great combinations, and he's a very precise puncher, Chad Dawson.
He just wants to win. He doesn't care how it comes.
I'm going to tell you what this also puts in perspective. How terrific Len Johnson was in his last fight against Dawson. Dawson fought the same way. Len Johnson was able to hang in there. Now Tarver getting raked over the coals.
Dawson turns it up. This is just an unmerciful beating that last sequence.
And Tarver's punches, very much arm punches.
That clip, Dawson, that left hand, didn't have full impact. Right above us.
Dawson will explode here in a minute. There he goes.
He hears the final 10 seconds. Oh, beautiful left-right combination. Uppercut, straight left. That was impressive by Dawson.
Yeah, you know they're not going to give us a decision. You know that. We have to knock this guy out. You know that. Come on. Sit down on your punches. Step to the side sometimes. Improvise. Let your hands go. Okay. Come on. Don't give this guy this belt, man.
Now here's where the defense of Dawson that we talked about is in play, but then he takes advantage of it, you know. And Gil Clancy, the great fight trainer and broadcaster, his words were make him miss and make him pay, and that's exactly what Chad Dawson did there. Made Tarver miss and then unleashed those combinations.
And you heard the frustration in the voice of Jimmy Williams, one of the great people in boxing, the trainer for Tarver. Tarver almost a look of resignation, very discouraged. As we hit round 9 for the IBF Light Heavyweight Championship. A destination fight, a fight that people have been waiting a long time for. And it is turning into a big night for Chad Dawson if he can hold on here.
You know, it's interesting. It's not that Antonio Tarver hasn't gotten a few things done in this fight. Landing some punches, but just not nearly enough. Chad Dawson's volume of punches is so much better and his accuracy is better.
And another look at press row. Let's see, Jeff Haney has it 79-73. According to the press row judges, if Tarver wins the final 4 rounds, the best he can get is a majority draw.
Yeah, I'm on board with the 78-74 scores. Tarver again pushing forward. And again, he's fighting a fight that is different strategically than he is used to. When that happens sometimes, you're not going to be quite as effective. Now, of course, he has to come forward. He's so far behind in this fight.
Yeah, we are getting to that point where Tarver is going to need something dramatic.
It's ironic. Dawson, they sparred with Derek Harmon, a good veteran left-hander who's very good at counterpunching and emulating what Tarver did, and yet they haven't had to face that exact style. It's been different. He was able to lure Tarver in and be the counterpuncher and the boxer himself, Chad Dawson.
Tarver's fought a few southpaws. He had a little problem in the first fight with Harding. Jeff Harding, he won the second fight. And Harding put Dawson down in the first round. Dawson came back and won.
Yes, indeed.
He fought Reggie Johnson, did Tarver. I think that was a split decision win for Tarver.
Yeah.
And then a couple of more guys, but, you know, nondescript.
It's different for both these men. You know, you don't see that many lefties if you're a lefty. Tarver has landed some good straight lefts in this round. They're not hurting Chad Dawson. This is one of the closer rounds of the last few. Whether Tarver's doing enough to win it remains to be seen.
It's a more active round for Tarver, yes. More aggressive. But back comes Dawson here. A series of blows to the head. There's that beautiful uppercut, straight left combination again by Dawson. That has worked throughout the night. and he's smart. He throws that uppercut from close range.
Antonio Tarver wanted to switch to righty there. I don't think that'd be a terrible idea, just to change up a little bit against Dawson.
Wicked body work here. And then the left uppercut to the chin. Right on the point of the chin of Antonio Tarver. Let's go over to Karen Bryant. Karen.
All right, thanks very much, Steve. I'm here with Floyd Mayweather Jr. Now, Floyd, who did you like coming into the fight tonight, and what do you think of the action so far?
You know, Antonio Tarver was my Olympic teammate. Chad Dawson worked with my dad. And Chad Dawson is one hell of a fighter, and Tarver's a good fighter. I'll just come to see a good fight tonight.
Is anything surprising, though? Because it is a pretty good fight, but kind of one-sided.
Well, right now, I think, Chad Dawson is pound for pound the best fighter in the world. As of right now, I feel that he's underrated. He really don't get the credit that he really deserves. I think he's the best fighter out there right now, pound for pound.
All right. Well, you don't look like you've let yourself go in retirement here, so you getting inspired? You want to get back up in there?
No, I'm just here to, just to support young fighters like Chad Dawson and all the fighters that's out there that's fighting right now. They got mixed martial arts that they showing on Showtime. So many big fights out there. I just wish all the fighters nothing but the best.
So you're staying retired?
Oh, absolutely.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us, Floyd. Enjoy the fight, Steve.
And not a bad dancer either.
Yeah, he did a pretty good job.
Round 10. Thank you, Karen.
A lot of boxers in, Winky Wright, Paulie Malignaggi in the house, and of course Floyd Mayweather Jr. to see this fight.
Oh, look at Dawson going to work here, all over Tarver.
Tarver did switch to righty momentarily, and guess what? Not a great idea. I thought it might be an interesting idea, at least to switch up. Didn't work.
And nothing seems to be working for him.
He alluded to Tarver. He was his Olympic teammate in the Olympic Games and didn't win the gold medal, but was a great amateur, Antonio Tarver, and now looking like he's toward the end of his professional career.
Thunderous body shots here by Chad Dawson. Have to be wearing Tarver out.
Watch your heads, please.
Dawson showing the skill. That was a triple jab. I mean, that was like 6, 7, 8 unanswered punches by Dawson.
Don't bump your heads.
Chad Dawson is putting on a brilliant performance. There's no question about it. And I don't think Antonio Tarver's fought terribly by any stretch. It's just that he can't get the job done here tonight.
Yeah, he's not laboring like we've seen in some of his fights since the Hopkins fight. He's hanging in there.
And he's thrown some good punches and even some good combinations, but it's just that Dawson's volume, speed, and in some cases power has been too much.
Watch your heads. Don't bump your heads.
Well, Tarver trying to test the will of Chad Dawson, but you can't get anything going. What a left hand by Dawson.
There's almost a, I don't want to use the word arrogance because that's not really the right word. Super confidence, if you will, about the way Dawson's fighting right now. Letting Tarver come in, do what he wants, and then says, you know what, I'll just turn this around whenever I feel like it.
And certainly, by far, not in awe of the environment. His biggest fight.
Nothing low.
Oh, look at that. The uppercut straight through the guard. Everything pushes Tarver back.
They're both doing, even Antonio Tarver, he's throwing a lot of creative combinations, some different kinds of punches. They're both doing the same thing. Dawson's just doing it quicker and better.
Antonio Tarver, almost 14 years older than Chad Dawson. And right now, youth is prevailing. Back comes Dawson, non-stop. Well, how about another interested spectator? There is the Raging Bull, Victor Archinian, the current IBF Junior Bantamweight champion. Off that impressive win over Dmitry Krylov. He'll fight next month on Showtime against really one of the top fighters around, Christian Maharis from Mexico, for the unified super flyweight title.
Can't wait for that fight. It's going to be at the Home Depot Center. Same site as 2 of the Rafael Marquez, Israel Vasquez fights. Do we dare think it'll be that good? I don't know, but it's going to be a really good one.
Sit down.
Nice slow deep breath.
You got to hurt this guy. You lock me. Bend the body. No, okay.
I hear you. That's what I'm saying.
We only got 2 rounds to do it, man. We got 2 rounds to do it, man.
Well, you sense the urgency, of course, in the corner with Jimmy Williams in the face of Antonio Tarver. And, you know, Tarver just said, hey, I hear you, man, but it's tough.
He has tried to hurt Chad Dawson. He's hit him with some pretty good straight left hands, some decent uppercuts. They've not been able to get the job done in terms of really hurting him.
Round 11, what is known as the championship round. This for the IBF light heavyweight championship.
You know what is interesting? We're in round 11. Tarver, the 39-year-old, soon to be 40, his punch output is good. You know, he's throwing a lot of punches, but he's just not landing as many or as effective as Chad Dawson is. And you see the record past the 10th round. Both these men have gone there. Tarver, obviously more experienced, gone there more times with a not quite perfect record like Chad Dawson. Tarver having a good 11th round. Dawson's kind of allowing it again. But we expect Dawson to come out with a flurry like he has.
Dawson going 12 rounds his last fight. Also with Adamek and Harding. There's a look at press row. And the gap is widening. According to the judges, after 10, Dawson's leads continue to grow, and it's now a unanimous decision.
I have it 98-93, so I'm right in the ballpark. I may have an even round.
8-6 and 6 points. Again, not to sound repetitive, but pretty obvious. Dawson needs a knockout. Tarver needs a knockout. Unless the judges here are seeing a completely different fight.
Now this round has been a good round for Antonio Tarver. We mentioned earlier how Dawson late in the Adamek round, Adamek fight was stunned. Glenn Johnson also had him a little trouble later, but Tarver hasn't shown the ability to hurt him so far in this fight, but Tarver does have power.
The official judges Max DeLuca from Tustin, California, Dave Moretti, Las Vegas, and CJ Ross from Las Vegas.
Dawson may have given away too much of this round to still win it unless he lands a lot of big punches.
He's hitting Tarver here towards the end of the round with some very hard shots. Dawson, I'll tell you one thing, at least Tarver showing mettle.
Yes.
He's showing resolve. He's standing up to some very, very wicked punches. No knockdowns in the fight. Tarver's been down 2 times, as mentioned, never stopped. Dawson goes for the record down 3 times in his career.
Hey, last round. All right? Talk to me.
Last round.
Last round?
Yes.
Be careful.
Yes.
Hands up. If you're inside Chad, dig to the body.
Yes.
Don't give him this round.
Yes.
All right? Don't give him the round. If he comes, let him come in. You stop, bend them legs, and dig to the body.
Come on, Chad. This is the last round.
30 seconds. This is last
Okay,
round.
let me get one more.
Nice slow deep breath. Come on, there you go.
Yeah. We got to knock him out to win. You know that. Give the rest.
Well, okay. I was waiting for Jimmy Williams to say that, and finally, seconds before Tarver stands up, he whispered in his ear, you got to knock him out to win.
And prophetic words in the corner of the Dawson with Eddie Mustafa Muhammad telling him, you know, don't make mistakes and don't give him this round, because you never know, you know. And he has given 1 or 2 rounds away, Chad Dawson.
Yeah, Dawson has been down late. But here we go, round 12 for the IBF Light Heavyweight Championship. But Dawson continues to come forward and just strafe Tarver with shot after shot. Again, the blazing hand speed blurring his way through to Dawson, to Tarver's head.
Chad Dawson plays defense.
Oh, down goes Antonio Tarver. Yeah, the glove touched the canvas. It's a knockdown.
5, you touched your glove. 6, I know, but you touched your glove.
A right hook.
Sorry. Box.
Tarver down for the 3rd time. Went down against Hopkins and Harding in his earlier fights, and that just solidifies it.
You know, I was saying Dawson plays defense on offense. You can't punch back when he's throwing these kind of combinations. It's too fast. What a superb performance by Chad Dawson. You know, unless Tarver could find a way to find lightning in a bottle here in the 12th round.
Tarver not hurt as a result of that knockdown, but put down. Well, Dawson told us, Al, that he wanted to punish Antonio Tarver, and he's been doing that. Oh, another great right hand, right on the chin by Dawson.
Truth be told, I think, oh, wow, there's a nice uppercut by Tarver. That's what he's been looking for, but I'll tell you, I think that uppercut had a little bit of an effect on Chad Dawson.
Yeah, he slowed him down a little bit.
How much, we don't know.
1 minute to go. He's got to be careful because Tarver's desperate now.
Tarver got his attention. It's very late in this fight, but he got his attention.
I'll tell you what, Dawson's a fan fighter. He's a crowd pleaser because he could be laying back and hiding right now. But he's coming forward and engaging Tarver.
Both men deserve credit. Dawson engaging and Tarver at 39 still pumping away in round 12 and making a few things happen.
An exciting one-sided fight.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Close round here, though.
Pretty good entertainment value here. Final 25 seconds. Look out.
Tarver having himself a good 12th round.
Yeah, he's probably winning this round, but he needs to do more than that.
I think he won the last 2, but I doubt that it's enough to win this fight. But a very exciting close to what was really a well-fought fight.
And it's hard to win a round when you go down.
Yeah, that's the problem. Yeah, let me amend that because of the knockdown.
Yeah. So he probably didn't win the round.
But he performed well in it.
So that's it. And Mrs. Dawson with a big smile.
Great. Oh, my fans, I love you, New Haven.
A shout out to New Haven. Mike Criscio, his manager, with a big embrace.
Just a brilliant performance by that young man. And nothing to be ashamed of for Antonio Tarver at all.
You chased that nigga all over that fucking ring. Caught him good, Chad. That's my mother, sir. Let her in there. Sorry. Come on. That's my mother. Let me get that glove off my face. Go. We got 3 down, 1 more to go. You did good, baby.
So Chad Dawson getting hugs all around from his entourage. What an outstanding performance by this young man. All smiles.
Well, in a round that otherwise he had some trouble in, Chad Dawson scored a knockdown in the 12th round. It came courtesy of actually a right hand, a right hook, and that had been a punch that he had landed repeatedly. And it brought an interesting reaction as we take a look at the fact that the right hook got there. It wasn't the best, by far the best punch, but knocked him off balance. And once your hand hits the canvas, it has to appropriately be called a knockdown, and Jay Nady did. I know Antonio Tarver not happy about it, but when that knockdown occurred, Crystal Dawson
almost lost the kid.
Very elated over that, as well she should be. Denise Tarver, with what you would expect as a reaction. She's very involved in her husband's career, and clearly a disappointing moment there for her.
That's something she often sees from her husband. So a disappointing look on the face of Tarver. Different story in the Dawson corner, who now just waits for the official word. We'll get it from our man Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 rounds of action here at the Palms Casino Resort in Las Vegas, we have a unanimous decision. Here are the score totals. Judge at ringside, Max DeLuca scores about 118 to 109. Judges Dave Moretti and CJ Ross both score about 117 to 110. All three in favor of the winner. And the new IBF and IBO light heavyweight champion of the world, the undefeated Bad Chad